Hello, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. Today we're going to be hopping into the new stage of Infinite Dragon Ball history versus the Super Warrior tag teams, using the Bond of Friendship / Rapid Growth team. I built the team the way I did, I should say, because the first three units, the Caulifla and Kale, the GT Goten and Trunks, and then the Super Saiyan Goten and Trunks, those three alone fulfill both of the requirements for completing all of the missions for this stage, so you can just do it in one run. The missions being bring 3 Joined Forces category units and 3 Bond of Friendship category units. I brought the Kid Goten so that we can use the active skill for the Goten and Trunks to give them a little more viability later in the event where their defense may suffer. Ultimate Gohan is Ultimate Gohan. He's super good. Stacks defense, guards against all types. He's pretty self-explanatory. And then B-Pan, for some healing, she's got the 55% damage reduction because I do have her Easy Aid. So she's just a really strong free-to-play unit that you can bring. And then I am bringing the Zeno support memory to hopefully make Caulifla and Kale look a little bit better. The friend I brought, I believe, has 1 dupe, but I will check that right here in just a second. Actually, I'll let the Zeno support memory play before I skip it. This one's really short, but it is a monstrous full fight Universal Survival Saga buff. I believe it's 10%, so I can check that also. But first, the friend, Kale, and Caulifla are 69%, yeah, so they have 1 dupe. And then the Zeno support memory is, in fact, 10% attack and defense for all Universal Survival Saga category allies. And they link up okay with Gohan. They share Saiyan Lineage and Fierce Battle. Saiyan Lineage being a 2 key link for Gohan because I have him at full level 10 links. And a 1 key link for them. Unfortunately, they are a unit that is super dependent on high link levels. But luckily for them, this is the kind of event where they will thrive. This is their best case scenario kind of event. It's a long event where they can stack up. If you get lucky and get a bunch of additional supers at the beginning of the fight, they'll look even better. So that's good for them. You can see them already at 2 million, at 69%, full level 1 links. I would say that when you have this support memory active, they start looking a lot better and performing in a way that makes them actually valuable. Whereas without the support memory, they really are super unimpressive. But that 10%, it's like an outside of turn 10% buff. I don't know exactly how it's calculated. I'm sure the Dokkan Wiki has a little thing that I can look up in just a second. But those out of turn buffs are far greater than the 10% that it says. But let's go like this. Goten also being a very strong slot 1 unit when paired with another Goten or Trunks unit, including the Goten and Trunks duo unit. Gets a little bit of damage reduction. He's a support unit, so he's looking pretty good. We will keep... how do I want to do this? We will keep mine on rotation just to make sure... Wow, can I even super with either of them this turn? How can I do this? Oh, that will not fall right. We'll go like that. Okay, that lets us super with the ones in the end. Mine need to super right now because they were off rotation and they're going to continue being off rotation. So my Kale and Caulifla will probably end up being the least impressive even later into the event. Being off rotation means that they won't have enough chances to build up. I would have left them on rotation this turn, but I really wanted to get them at least 1 super attack this turn. Next time they come around next to Ultimate Gohan, I will put them on rotation. Ultimate Gohan getting the 2 key from Saiyan Lineage from them, plus his passive, means that the next time he shows up, he is guaranteed to super no matter what orbs we give him, which means that I can start putting him in the first slot and letting him sort of manipulate orbs to help us super attack when needed. Alright, so they can already use their active skill. I don't think I want to use it just yet, though. We're going to hold off until maybe there's a few more attacks in the front so we can get their full passive built up. They get extra attack, defense, and dodge chance for every time they dodge. We can take a look at their passive, and I'll take a look at their passive over on the side. I'll open up the Dokkan Wiki. and I can look up their passive as well as potentially how that out of turn attack buff works. But this team, I don't think will have any problems beating this event. Especially because my Goten and Trunks do have more. They have 2 dupes in them, which makes them a fairly strong pair. Alright, we can throw them like this. What do they share? Saiyan Lineage, Cold Judgment is a good link for them to have, so I think I'm going to leave the rotations just like this. And luckily, we're fighting a tech enemy. We can let these guys build up a little. I will leave all those purples just in case for Kale and Caulifla on the next rotation, as they should be coming back around. Let's check out some events, shall we? Why am I checking out events? I do not want to check out events. Just kidding. I want to check out characters. By name. We'll go to Goten. Goten. Disambiguation. Goten and Trunks. Here they are. So they get attack and defense 150% when forming a super. They have a great chance of getting attack and defense. So Ki +1 and an additional attack and defense 10% and chance of evading enemy +7% with each attack evaded. The attack and defense can go up to 50% and the dodge chance can go up to 30%. So we want to put them in front of 3 attacks. No, sorry, not 3 attacks, 5 attacks. I am not on my math game today. What are we looking at for defense on Goten? So we're going to miss a super with Goten. We can grab that with Goten and Trunks. Do these guys share prepared for battle? They do, so they're not a bad link partner either. The Goten also lets Goten and Trunks do their unit super attack, which is pretty important. My Goten is 100% in the dupe system, and he's full additional. So he is very helpful. Let's see, how can I find quests and events, other events? No, characters, guides, items, support memories. Okay, let's hop through this real quick. I don't know what exactly like the special thing that this fight does or is. Yeah, every one of these Infinite Dragon Ball history stages usually has some sort of gimmick that they employ. I did not look what the gimmick was. Hopefully it's not rotation locking towards the end. That is the worst one by far, in my opinion. Alright, Universal Survival Saga categories, attack and defense plus 10% in battle. It does not say... the boost guy. Yeah, so it is calculated out of turn, which does mean that it's a far higher buff than the 10% that it shows up as when you look at its details. It's actually quite a massive buff. You can kind of see it on Kale and Caulifla. On their first turn, after only 2 supers, they were able to hit 2 million, when usually they're not even close to 2 million. Okay, so we will do this right now. So now they'll dodge all those attacks, they'll get their dodge chance built up, they'll get their passive built up, which will let them be better defensively for the rest of the fight as well. We can go like this. Goten is at 192k defense, so he'll be fine after he supers. But yeah, so far this has been a very easy run. This team is really good, despite the fact that Kale and Caulifla, in my opinion, are super underwhelming. Long events is where they shine. They'll get a lot of defense. I think towards the end of this event, too, we'll be fighting Universal Survival Saga category enemies, which will let them activate the last portion of their passive. Okay, let's see. What are we looking at defensively? Yeah, I mean, look at the friend Kale and Caulifla at 467k defense. That's crazy. That's a really high number. Let's see if we can manipulate these orbs to get these guys a super attack. We can, putting them in slot 2 pretty much being exactly where we want them. The friend Kale and Caulifla have clearly built up enough where we don't need to keep them on rotation anymore. So we can start building up mine. The friend is also going to build up way faster than mine because they have the dupe, whereas mine has no dupes. But even these guys, I mean, this is what their fourth super attack. I wasn't keeping track of how many extras they've gotten, but 1.7 is a lot higher than I've seen them get. So you can see the impact that the support memory is making. Hopefully the friend at the end gets an additional super attack so we can... Yep, there we go. 3 million. See, like, these guys, in long events, they start performing pretty decently. I mean, those attack stats really still aren't that impressive, but they had no links active, so I can't really fault them too much on it. This is pretty much exactly what we want, although Goten's defense is tanked right now because he can't super. Goten and Trunks have a 21% chance to dodge, but they only have 100k defense. Alright, well, we'll have to start focusing on getting Goten supers a little bit further in, so that we can start getting his defensive stack up. He doesn't have an infinite stack like Kale and Caulifla do, but I believe he stacks by 30% attack and defense for 6 or 9 turns. We'll check that in a minute. Hopefully I can get all of these for once. There we go. That's what we like to see. Hopefully everyone is able to complete this event at least. Infinite Dragon Ball history is generally much easier than like the legendary Goku events or Super Battle Road or the God event, so I don't foresee this being a problem for too many players. Completing the missions might be. Joined Forces is a weird category, and it's not super free to play friendly. And Bond of Friendship is a brand new category, so the only way that you're gonna get that, I mean, Bond of Friendship encompasses every single Goku in the game, so really you're not gonna have much trouble with it. They're already up to 193. I will say they do stack their defense a lot faster than I thought they would. So, you know, kudos to them there. That's for sure. They're outperforming defensively than I thought they would. After only a few supers, it seems like their defense goes up. But again, it's worth noting, every time I say that they look impressive, part of the reason they look so impressive is the Zeno support memory, which you can only get if you be in all of the God events, which for newer players is nearly impossible. It's a very difficult event. Let's see. Hopefully we can still dodge. Alright, we're going to have to do that, I guess. Yeah, this should work fine, so we can go there. Goten absolutely has to super this turn. Hopefully we get a double super so we can start building that defense back up, since we missed so many supers at the beginning. 4.8 from these guys. These guys are solid. I find it very... it's funny, when I did my first Caulifla and Kale video, I said that they were either the worst or second worst compared to these guys. When I look at these guys, I find it really hard to say that Caulifla and Kale are better, but my Goten and Trunks have 2 dupes, whereas my Caulifla and Kale have no dupes. Even compared to the 1 dupe Kale and Caulifla and Kale unit, though, I really don't find them that impressive. That was a pretty good attack stat, though, right there. Again, once you're getting deep into these events, I mean, they just put up a 9.5 million attack stat easy. Whereas Goten and Trunks are probably going to be a little bit better in short events. They can activate their active skill as soon as turn 3, which is very impressive. Or very important, I should say. Okay, I think we have to do that. Oh, yes, that gets them Battlefield Diva, which means that they should be able to super attack. No. No, they can't. Those orbs fell horribly. It happens. What is their defense looking like? 231. Pretty good. Gohan is getting hit in the front, which means that he will be able to do a little bit more damage than normal. Gohan is a prime example of a unit whose defensive capability is really, really where he shines. Before he transforms offensively, Gohan is mediocre to say the least. Like, 3 million is fine, but he's greatly stacked attack a bunch of times. At the beginning of the event, his attack is abysmal. Anything under 2 million to start out with is not very impressive or helpful. It's a lot of difficult content, and a lot of difficult content now you really need to be nuking out the enemy. Not literally is in like using nuking units, but picking off enemies as fast as possible is far more valuable than something like build up over time, because there's a million units that build up over time. Look at how, oh, well, so we have the support from Trunks and Goten GT, but look how much Goten's defense spiked. He went from 108 to 192k. Goten is a great unit because with all of that defense, it allows us to heal a lot. For those of you who don't know, healing through same type orbs is partially determined through the hidden potential system. There are little things that you can select. It's okay that they dodge that. We really just wanted Goten to get his own defensive stack. 5.6 from these guys is pretty good too. Their unit super attack comes in clutch, but they're sort of designed to be run on teams just full of Goten and Trunkses. So having those partners, I'll check exactly what links they share. I believe it's 5 links that they share together. But, alright, let's see. What do we got going on here? Yeah, the friend Kale and Caulifla are up to 600,000 defense. Pretty good. You know what? I'm going to transform the friend. They've stacked enough defense. I'm curious to see what their defensive number is after this. Because they lose defense from their passive when they transform, but they keep all of the defense that they stack from their actual super attack effect. Because they gain defense in their passive for every attack performed, but they also stack defense on their super attack. So I'm curious to see what her defensive value goes to. 372. That's a pretty drastic drop off, actually. A bit more than I would have liked to see, if I'm being honest. Alright. But she does make it so that Kale and Caulifla can super very easily. They shave 4 links after they transform, which is cool. It's weird that they don't share Prepared for Battle. Oh, that's funny. She shares Power Bestowed by God with Gohan, which is interesting. And she needs 6 orbs. We can get her 6 orbs, so that's good. And then we can have Gohan super there. I might need to... I probably should have transformed Gohan to just try and power through this, but... 3.4 from these guys. Not bad. Let's see if... I want to see... I mean, 372k from Kefla defensively should be more than enough for her to take double digits from singles and not take too much damage from super attacks, but... this is shaping up to be a very easy no-item run. I like her super attack, though. The animations for Caulifla and Kale, I think, are fairly good. I like this one a lot. The base form one is fine, but I like the pinwheel, gigantic blast. The name for the attacking anything special, but I don't know. The stuff that this Kefla is putting up, it just feels like underwhelming. We are fighting a Universal Survival Saga category ally, finally, too, so the Kale and Caulifla at the front are getting their extra bit of passive, where if they attack a Universal Survival Saga category enemy, they gain an additional, I believe it's 60% attack, which drastically increases the amount of damage they're doing. You saw they hit a 3.4 million attack stat, which is pretty good. But if they were hitting against a non-Universal Survival Saga category enemy, that probably would be down to like a 2.8, 2.5 even. Because those, I don't exactly know how the math works, but there's a lot of different ways that the boosts that units can get multiply into each other, and the fact that they have start of turn attack and defense plus an on-attack attack and defense buff should be pretty relevant in terms of how much attack they have. You can see these guys, so they have a chance for 100% attack and defense in their passive, I believe, and if you don't hit them, sometimes you get attack stats like that, where they're hitting like 3.6, and that's like fine. It's a perfectly okay attack stat. I really wish that had connected. As I said, a pretty easy no-item run, I think, but having that connect would have been great. These guys have not stacked up nearly as much as I would have liked them to, if I'm being honest. They were at 135? Okay. So, let's double-check their passive while we're here, shall we? Yes. 60% when attacking if there is a Universal Survival Saga category enemy, and I believe she has a portion of her passive like that too. No, she is not dependent on Universal Survival Saga category enemies, which is good. We can get her 6 orbs again, so she's going to look pretty impressive right there. And then that. I really would have liked B-Pan to connect there. B-Pan's damage is pretty mediocre, but when she's hitting type advantage, she can hit for pretty high. She can hit for high enough where the 1/3 heal that you're getting from her passive, it makes it so that no item runs are super easy. If you take a look at our health, we're just under 400,000. Part of this is because a few units on my team are just 55%, which isn't super great for HP, but I decided to not bring a lot of LRs. For example, I didn't bring either of the LR UI Gokus, who I do have access to both the Strength and EGL one. I'll do a box tour soon, just show off what I got, but to flaunt it, if you will. But, I don't know, I felt like this team build might have been just like a little more cohesive and a little bit more functional. Alright, we are going to transform Gohan here. Gohan, when he is Ultimate Gohan, gets super effective against all types when he is attacking an enemy with 58% or more health, or if they are a Majin Buu Saga category enemy. The enemy is intelligent, so this felt like a perfectly acceptable time to do this. His defense is built up enough. He no longer stacks defense or attack in this form, but it's fine because he's at 458k defense and he stacks. Watch our health just skyrocket from that. Then we hit the orbs there to get more health, and then this should fill us up quite a bit too, yeah. So you can see why this no item run is so easy. You have a lot of stacking units or units that just have such high defense that you're just healing like, you know, 15 to 30% from just collecting same type orbs. These guys at 7.39. Again, their attack stats vary drastically depending on if they get the portions of their passive that they need to. Maybe they can dodge? No. Alright. I don't see them taking a ton of damage, luckily, because we have type advantage. Yeah, 38k, that's nothing. Gohan only at 2.9. Part of Gohan's passive is predicated on him getting hit. He needs to get hit once, and then he'll keep his attack for the rest of the fight. So it probably would have been a better call to put him in the first slot, but... Alright, let's see. What do we got here? 356, 372. Alright. Once again, we're getting very lucky in our ability to get Kefla her orbs. I feel like a decent portion of the time you're going to miss those 6 orbs, and she's just going to look very unimpressive. But we've gotten very lucky. There, you can see the massive drop-off in damage now that they aren't fighting a Universal Survival Saga enemy. Like, 3 million attack stats is super mediocre. I mean, you have Easy A Cooler who can do that, like, the first turn he's out. So they don't seem that... I mean, even physical Super Vegito is putting out comparable attack stats on his first turn. Not to mention his counters. So it's just a little disappointing, like, what they're bringing to the table, which is essentially nothing. But they are very good for this event. They do this all the time where, oh my god, like, look at this new event. The new unit we just put out creams this event. Of course it does, right? They want you to spend money and feel like you need to summon for these units. And I'm just going to tell you outright that the Fusing Kefla, unless you're a huge Kefla fan and you like Khalifa and Kale, which, you know, go for it. Summon for them. Otherwise, their banner's bad, and they don't really have an exceptional amount of value outside of completing the missions for this event. And there you have it. The newest stage of Infinite Dragon Ball history completed. We'll collect the missions to see how many stones you get. It's usually around 20, if I'm remembering correctly. But let's take a look. We go to missions. Under special condition. Oh, well, here, we'll just accept all. So that was 2 plus 22, so you get 24. And let me make sure. So, the one thing that you can't do with this team, which is not surprising, is complete it within 18 turns. The team is a very slow build team. If you want to do this fast, representatives of Universe 7 should rip this thing apart. But anyway, this video is kind of long. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. I'll see you next time.